we kick it off this moment. Thank you. We couldn't finish up last night for some technical reason that was totally beyond our immediate control. But we shall continue from where we stopped last night, including the add-ons, the additions to all that happened between last night and this evening from Nigeria in that contraption.
Oyedu iPod, Omeriwo n'Indizu, Odiya, Abakare, Mama Dawora, Unapori Meri Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's three. Unapori Meri Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Python that's the three. Unapori Meri Nandi bu Oyedu iPod, Omeriwo n'Indizu, Odiya, Abakare, Mama Dawora, Unapori Meri Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's the three. Unapori Meri Nandi.
Sorry about that. So I think that's almost an audio, interruption again. Hopefully, we won't have any interruption for this full 3 hours of this session tonight. And if that happens, well, we shall continue again later as well, So thank you so much for joining me. A place where the criminals are in charge of the destiny of millions of people, and they are selling them the bobo, lambas, lies. Like I said last night, they are feeding you with a lot of propaganda, more than what you can even finish. Before one propaganda expires, they have cooked another one, to the point that a lot of you are already getting pot bellies. When they ask you, what is the secret of your pot belly? You will tell them, propaganda, lanje. Brethren, let's start tonight from Abuja, because yesterday, Deji Adeyanju, as well as the very dark man, they were in Abuja to speak for the victims of Wike's demolition. It is devastating. A lot of people have been rendered homeless, all because some power-drunk, selfish, greedy criminals are in political office who have decided to delegitimize their supposed legitimate documents. All of this to grab people's lands, render them homeless in their own country. I mean, if this happened to you somewhere else, you probably would say, they can never do this to me in my own country. Maybe you probably would have a change of mind. However, the Lakurawa, I don't even know the pronunciation. I'm just going to go with Lakurawa. This is supposed a new terrorist group that are found home in Sokoto, next to the Sultan of Sokoto. They are sharing the caliphate that was founded on the altar of terrorism, a place that Uthman Dan Fodio first staged his first terrorist act in, this was just like less than 200 years ago, 1860, I think it was 1861 or so. That was when the first act of terrorism took place in what is today's Nigeria, northern Nigeria. The great-grandson of that first terrorist, Uthman Dan Fodio, is Saad Abubakar, Mr. Sadman Abubakar. He is the Sultan of Sokoto today. So that is now the headquarters of the Lakurawa terrorist group. But the report says these guys are not new. It is just that they have never been this sophisticated until recently. There is more to that story. Let's stop by in Abuja first, where Deji and others believes to be fighting for the rights of those where Wike has concluded to take their lands.
The reason why we are here is because of the ongoing massive demolition in the FCT by the Honorable Minister of FCT, Wike. The reason why we have come to this particular location, there are 4 different demolitions affecting thousands, more than 15,000 residents of the FCT in this location alone. You can see here children who their parents are directly affected. You can also see that there is a victim. One of the victims was shot. He's here. The media have captured. He has just been brought from the hospital. He was shot on the leg. Property worth millions of naira. Shops have been destroyed. After the demolition, the FCD and the FCTA administration, not only did they demolish, they burned properties here. As you can see, the media can go around to verify for themselves. We have come to identify with the poor people who are affected. And we have also been briefed. We were briefed just yesterday. By all the affected residents that we should take up their matter in court on their behalf. So we have come not just to sympathize, but to assess the level of damage, that they have witnessed here, with the intention of approaching the courts. But before we do that next week, we are using this medium to appeal to the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to consider the plight of FCT residents who are barely just surviving. Their goal is just to survive. Many of the residents here are people who were driven away from Bordeaux, from Adamawa, from Yobe, from Zamfara. They resigned because of insurgency and insecurity in the country. They live here, they work in the FCT, they are builders, they are painters, they are shoemakers. They are doing so much good work for the community. They are drivers, and there is no justification. They help the security agencies in the FCT prevent crime in the FCT. But that they are dismayed and they are worried that this time the effort to grab this land is more brazen and it's more unrelenting. So just like we had said earlier during our opening, that we are appealing to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the FCT minister to leave poor people's land from them. That poor people's land belongs to poor people. That if they badly need land to grant, and they should go to Asokoro, they should go to the Tama extension, they should go to Buzapen Main and Buzapen New, they should go to Ekape. There are so many places to grab land. When we look up to airport road to grab land from the poor, so that you can give it to the rich, that it will increase insecurity in the country. Yes, so that the thousands of people who are here everywhere for them. Not just that, it is very hard economy. With the price of dollar, with the price of foodstuff, and you do not even create a place for them to stay. It is craziness, wickedness, and it is not fair. Because this acts because a very great insecurity, terrorism, and a lot more things will come after this. Yes. So this is my strategy here, of course, because I go everywhere with him, and he goes everywhere with me too. So he's with me elderly. He will answer some questions.
In order to take care of their lands, Wike moved his bulldozers and they started demolishing people's houses, homes. Some, the government officials were setting the houses ablaze, like they are burning down the houses, then they're demolishing them. As they are burning them down, as the fire keeps, just to chase people away. And it is not because they don't have the right document to. It's because Wike cancelled their C of O's, all the documents. He invalidated everything. The purpose is not that, oh, they are taking this land because they want to build industries that will create jobs. No, it's just to take the land from them and then redistribute the land to themselves. It is a common practice in Nigeria. Those who know Wike very well, he did the same thing as governor in Rivers State. He did that. And because Wike is the one that controls the Nigeria judiciary as we speak, don't let it shock you. He is. It all started from taking people's lands to build judges' quarters, houses for judges, in which he got a 200 billion naira to build houses for judges. So now, if you go to any court to report Wike, you are going to lose. See, all this awareness that these guys are raising over the matter is just for the media consumption. It is just for you. Nothing is going to change. He's told them already. All of you want to fight me? Yeah, come and fight. This is the country or the government that is begging for investors to come to Nigeria. And like they said, of course, this is going to probably further escalate the insecurity in the country. They're already there. Talking about insecurity in the contraption. The Lakurawa terrorist group that is domiciled in Sokoto, they have extended to states like Kebbi, Jigawa, Yobe, Adamawa, Niger. So it's reported that these guys called the Lakurawa terrorist group, they killed 15 people, 15 innocent people that could not be protected by the supposed military of that contraption in Kebbi. So after killing them, they also rustled over 100 cows. Now, cattle rustling in the contraption is mostly done by these terrorists. But the Fulani terrorists, they know that they look faces that they can't really go after these guys. I'll show you what they look like in the next video I'm going to put up. The people are powerless. In northern Nigeria, there are like over 7 different terrorist groups. Majority of them are sponsored by the criminal politicians from northern Nigeria. But the story behind the Lakurawa terrorist group is that even though they are acting like the Boko Haram, but they are more deadlier. Because if you take a look at this picture, most of them are not from Nigeria. They are from the Sahel. So the Niger Republic junta, they severed relationship with Nigeria, and they withdrew their military men from the joint regional operation. You see, there is this thing called the regional operation where Nigeria contributed some soldiers, the Niger Republic contributes some soldiers, Mali, Burkina Faso, Chad, and all these guys, they added their own soldiers. They call them joints up. They are patrolling the Sahel. So in most cases, the terrorists that are coming from Libya, coming down the west of Africa, they usually encounter some stoppage in the Sahel, like, Niger Republic is the last stop before they will enter Nigeria. So this joint operation, right, is usually to ward them off. And sometimes they do stop them from entering Nigeria. The last 6 months, Niger Republic no longer wanted to have anything to do with Nigeria because of what Nigeria and the way Nigeria has treated them. They've lost so much soldiers. And now most of these guys have managed to cross to Nigeria. They are in Sokoto State, where it is now their headquarters. Let me show you what they look like.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wi tedden lo wadani nul Allah e nulaado nenno laati ko teddudo nenno heferbe koyi dum e hoyni heferbe kambe sahababe e famtude jatede wobma fu daabaji nurat kono jobe fe heferbe jombe garat be mbaram be wude jam nyalla wal hay alhamdulillah ani noy goruden hande imbaran heferbe galto leledde men do daano de in noddata ko bilal en kokkata kan so haala mo wala nenno alhamdulillah inna de sakira ne fuji Allah yaafo do fu himmire jihad so boy habade hawri heferbe fu hokka yonkim wallahi nyande nyalana ma wara e mayta nen alhamdulillah annabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam gorko goddo wari e makko wi min mi yehi ladde wi nokkure lobbede do ladde wodi koyde ngala to ndiyam no wodi ton cukku no wodi ton bibbe ledde ngon ton nam yidi mi yatom jodom rew Allah fatuma en tam yi yimbe fe sakko anna tawi sakko ko humbidum nulaado fu dum nulaado wi o ala tuhibbuna an yaghfira Allahu lakum wa yudkhilukum aljanna yalla on jida Allah yaafo on watta on aljanna o yimi den jid o wi ukhzu fi sabilillah ore saabi Allah dum e rewtin don man qatala fi sabilillah fa kanaka wajabat lahu aljanna ko kabido saabi Allah alqadar bilanne enno naggina ngelo be yejjo bila kan dum tan kabido saabi Allah dum aljanna wajibana kin Allah timfini aljanna nan alhamdulillah sakirabe annabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam o lamda dum jihadi o wi an tuqatil al kuffar idha laqitahum so hawri hefa ka bana nan alhamdulillah sakirabe do zunuba yaafete do budal hebete do teddengal adna hebete do sariya Allah nyibata saabe wolde de gonde mum joni nan alhamdulillah hakkune do e to jaten to so e palol na en so tampude ni jaata yaade dum data donc illa sona Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala windana en baraje nan alhamdulillah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hi yalle anon gondim Allah tindinta on jaago mon hino jukkugo naangona si yimbe bi way hon mumunen Allah fu kawri min naam Allah tindini ko mumunen Allah fu mbi non dum Allah wi dum won dume ngondi non Allah mbi on la ilaha illa Allah tawi e werde mod takal on mbi non kabodon e laawol Allah kokkon yonki mo wodi kokkon jawle modon so ngadini ko Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yaafon zunubaji modon nanna on aljanna nyibal nenno wa ukhra tuhibbunaha dume nasrun min Allah wa fathun qarib wa bashiril mu'minin piengaaji mabbe ndiwem be egga be jappa lendi yaaje fi wobbe fu kam faydo ndema fi nenno pien hefer be dilla e daade men de latin ahraran lillahi indimbe saabe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fay goto maray nenno annabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam o wi e onuli sahaba e makko ne Mus'ab ibn Umayr ko onulaata heferbe ƴami yalla ɗume annabaji mon warde o wi minen min nulama faamin jaltide yimɓe e rewde e maccuɓe ɓe garta e rewde joom maccuɓe ɗum won rewde Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala nen alhamdulillah faamin jaltina yimɓe e ɓillade aduna min jaara o faade ɓillitade aduna woodi e laakara fof nen alhamdulillah sakiraɓe wolde jihadi illa annabaji nula fa hande ka fay mudum kine heddi mo Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala muyani bural ko odo nata ka fay ki mo Allah muyani sahata ko odo nata ka fay ki mo Allah muyani tarikin ware jantede e tarikeji lobbi on ronata ka fay annabaji wodi sahababe mo alhamdulillah sakirabe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala o heddanay en do majje fi Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala o fi nen so neddo sonna ke ila khara fu hujja wala an to Allah fi dan alhamdulillah ina buri jihad na kewi e Qur'an ina buri jihad na kewi hadith annabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam mo jihad foti laatade o buru no jihad foti forde heba taben ceddo dum wadi Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alamaji.
I know you have a lot of questions. I can read some of your questions in the comments already. How did this guy come to Nigeria? How did he enter Nigeria? How did they assemble this much that the Nigerian army didn't see them? What happened to the Nigerian intelligence gathering agents or government secret police or DSS and the rest of them? You can ask all your million questions. I have one answer for you. Nigeria is not a real country. You do not have anything called border to start with, okay? And you do not have anything called military in Nigeria. What you have in Nigeria as security agents or military or what have you, they are regime protectors. Their job is not to protect you. Their job is to protect the regimes in Nigeria. The territorial integrity of Nigeria, that they will tell you they swear to protect and defend. That is just a word of mouth. That is just a pure, like a fallacy. You have always been on your own. It's just that it is hard for some of you to accept this reality. The reality is that you do not have any border. Assuming there is a country in Africa that wants to take over Nigeria, they can take over Nigeria. I know it's kind of like, no, that's not possible. Yeah, typical Nigerian. Nigeria is the biggest country. Nigeria is the giant of Africa. Shut up your mouth too. Kudake. The police, the military, the Air Force, the Navy, DSS, NIA, name them. Their job is to protect the people in power in Nigeria. Defend Nigeria. And to this, you see that they are not really Nigerians. They are not from Nigeria. But they have their members in Nigeria. And that is why you can see that it is a mixture of some of them that look like Arabs. Their criminal political class in northern Nigeria continue to tell them that Nigeria is the capital of their jihad. You and I, trapped in that contraption, we are just tenants. If you are from southern part of Nigeria or middle belt part of Nigeria, to these guys, you are just a tenant. It's a matter of time. In 100 years to come, all of us will be wiped off. And the entire place can actually really be their own, maybe not, can be their own Afghanistan, the Nigeristan. The criminals who are supposed to keep you safe, who are supposed to guide the borders and the rest of them, they do not give it. There's actually no real training for them to protect Nigeria from the invasion of these terrorists. And because the Sharia North is an Islamic enclave, these guys are not seen as terrorists. They are seen as jihadists, and jihadists who are fighting for Islam. So the way me and you see them is not the way they actually see them in the North. That's another thing you should also remember. That they are carrying guns and they wrap their head. They are, saying all those things, speaking language that you don't understand. To you, they are terrorists. But to this Sharia North, they are brothers in arm. They are brothers in arm. So every time you beat your chest and you tell yourself that you are a proud Nigerian, you are either having a mental problem or you are just a fraud. There's no compatibility. And to these guys, even if it's going to take them 100 years, on the 21st of February, 1804, was the first jihad in the Hausa kingdom of northern Nigeria. Let me show you what that is, what that was. Until 1804, this was the original map of what is today's Nigeria. There was no single place for Fulanis in Nigeria. They have any affinity or they are not indigenous to Nigeria, ever. until the 21st of February, 1804, when Malam Uthman Danfodio staged the first, bloodiest jihad, and they wiped off this entire yellow area of northern Nigeria. They wiped them off. All the Hausa leaders there, they wiped them off. And that yellow area is now a bloody area where the Fulani terror